This is Network 18. And you are watching CNBC TV 18.
Welcome right here to the very first edition of the Tata NEN Hottest Startups Awards night. 6 months of campaigning in the Tata NEN Hottest Startups Awards and the world's first People's Choice Awards for startups that registered 600 nominations, which culminated in an award ceremony to announce the winners of 2008. 5 young, driven, and high-potential startups made it to the top names of these winning startups. Well, the Tata NEN Hottest Startups was constituted by both Tata and NEN. The Tata Group, of course, needs no introduction. The Tata NEN Hottest Startup Awards reflect the group's strong belief in entrepreneurship as a driver of business growth in this country. Well, founded in 2003, the National Entrepreneurship Network is a not-for-profit initiative by the Vadvani Foundation that works to inspire, educate, and support the younger generation of entrepreneurs here in India. Well, our first speaker right here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Simon Cox.
Thank you. As I was preparing these remarks at a friend's house nearby, and it turned out he's just started his own company as well. I asked him, what should I say? And he said, I always tell people 2 things about starting your own company. You'll be the CEO, but you'll also be the peon. And you think it gets better when you hire other people, but it doesn't. Seriously, though, you may have seen the GDP figure today. It's pretty disappointing, and that will hurt all companies, including the young companies we're celebrating tonight. Last year was the first year, I think, since 2002 that private equity investment fell in India. Venture capital, which had been running at a fairly healthy clip of sort of $200 million a quarter, in the first part of the year was down to 60 million last quarter. I think we can take consolation, though, from the fact that entrepreneurs, the self-employed, are perhaps better prepared or better equipped to deal with this kind of volatility than the rest of us. The rest of us thought we were entering stable careers and are now being disillusioned. Entrepreneurs turn down a stable salary. They turn down the prospect of a steady wage in order to start something new and interesting. So that tells you something about their attitude to risk. What really distinguishes young companies is what economists call job churn. They replace old jobs with new jobs, old techniques with new techniques, old companies with new companies. And it's that churn, which can be turbulent, it can be unpleasant, which produces a lot of the economic vitality, which improves all of our lives. There isn't too much economic vitality going on at the moment. But I wonder if we don't depend on the entrepreneur even more now than we do in the good times. If you ask people what's going wrong with the world economy right now, they'll always say risk aversion, risk aversion. But economists make a distinction between risk and uncertainty. Risk we can handle. Risk is something you can calculate the odds and you can put a price on it. Uncertainty is something much more fundamental. Uncertainty is when you don't know, and you don't know. Now, if you can't guess the odds, if you can't calculate the odds, the natural instinct is not to bet. Now, when the rest of us are sort of paralyzed and bewildered and can't find a reason to act, it means we depend even more on those entrepreneurs, those restless spirits who can't bear not to act. And it's those restless spirits, I think, who will ultimately pull us through this. Thank you.
Well, our next speaker right here this evening, the Executive Director and the co-founder of the National Entrepreneurship Network. Please put your hands together for Ms. Laura Parkin.
Welcome, everybody. It's wonderful to see everybody in this room. I feel like we all have a piece of these awards. There are awards out there, but many of them reward people after they've succeeded. And we think sometimes it's very important to recognize people who are literally daring to try. We know it's a risk, but we think it's a very important one to take, and it's a statement that has to be made. We also wanted to do something a little bit more exciting with the awards, because we wanted to do 2 things: support the entrepreneur, but also build the ecosystem, get people engaged, get people excited. These startups are incredible. They should be a source of national pride. Well, it's now the biggest competition for startups in all of India, with providing a national platform for almost 600 startups who all had the courage to bear their facts to the public. Our goal was to help every participant succeed, to provide value not just to the winners, but to everyone. So what happened there? Well, more than 80 startups volunteered, thank you very much, and spoke on NEN campuses around the country. We actually had over 200,000 people vote on startups. That's wonderful. We were very excited. But at the end of the day, what thrilled us was the following. We had IMA students and others from top institutes calling hottest startups saying, may I work for you? We had investors calling us saying, please, will you make introductions? And using the database for contacts. We have companies telling us that their business increased 20 to 30% based on this contest. So perhaps it did work. Maybe. But more importantly, we have the hottest 30 here tonight. A fabulous, courageous, and very diverse group of companies that showcase the range of opportunities in India today. And it is, above all, a celebration of New India. I thank you.
क्या आपकी सेविंग्स भी आपके बच्चे के सपनों के साथ बढ़ रही हैं? आपके बच्चे के सपने सिर्फ सपने ना रह जाएं। भारतीय एक्सा लाइफ प्रेजेंट्स ब्राइट स्टार्स।
If I were a high flyer, this model would be my choice.
Presenting the widest range of notebook PCs from Toshiba. There's one just right for you.
Feel quality, feel Toshiba.
We Indians are second to none when it comes to the race for enterprise.
India's SMEs are showing the world that they have what it takes and can shine in the face of a challenging environment.
SMEs really now need to learn to plan within these uncertain and turbulent environments.
SME business is still in a creative stage. There is something new happening every day and we have to be alive to it.
Let's salute India's small and medium enterprises as they keep the great Indian dream alive.
ICICI Bank Business Banking presents CNBC TV 18's The Emerging India Awards 2009, powered by CRISIL. For category details and to nominate yourself, log on to emergingindia.moneycontrol.com.
Emerging India Awards 2009, presented by ICICI Bank Business Banking, your partner in growth. Powered by CRISIL.
Caught in the wrong job? Log on to monster.com. Our magic search engine finds you the right job.
To get the best out of any enterprise, begin with faith. Drive it with skill. With partnership. Grace it with honesty. Strengthen it with teamwork. Honor it with respect. To get the best out of any enterprise, live your values. Tata, a century of trust.
Once upon a time, a country changed. India, a country of more than 1 billion people,
whirled around almost in mid-stride and changed. And if you compare what you see with what you remember, then you will notice that almost nothing has stayed the same. Today, there is a new part of India being born almost every second. And at the heart of these myriad births, driving this mammoth change, is a special breed of Indian entrepreneur, bustling with energy and passion, with new ideas. The great Indian startup, Tata ANN Hottest Startups. The largest startup award, the first of its kind in the world, judged by 300 experts and a staggering 200,000 online voters, with 600 dynamic companies participating from 30 cities all over India. Finally, 30 exciting startups made it to the shortlist. Today, out of these 30, we will discover the final 5 incredible winners. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Tata ANN Hottest Startups.
Well, besides our 5 winners, we're also announcing 3 very special awards right here this evening. In keeping with the premise of these awards to bring much value is to not just the winners but also the finalists, the knowledge partners of Tata ANN Hottest Startups Awards have stepped forward with the special awards. First, IIM Ahmedabad CIIE Mentorship Award goes to
Innovasis.
IIM Bangalore and NS Raghavan Center for Entrepreneurial Learning Incubator Award goes to.
There are 2 awards. The first one to Vayavya Labs. Second one goes to Wind Brands.
Microsoft BizSpark Award goes to.
And the award goes to ID Consi Solutions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as it is my privilege in welcoming onto the podium Dr. Jamshed J. Irani to propose the keynote address.
Thank you. Our founder, Jamshedji Tata, realized that there was a future for textiles in India, and particularly when the war between the Republicans and the nationalists in the USA curtailed the supply of cotton from USA to the mills in Manchester in England. So he decided to go in for a textile. He became an entrepreneur in textiles, and he went to the UK to start this business. By the time he reached there, the war in USA had ended, and the cotton required from India had no market. So he started off as a businessman from Mumbai. By the time he reached London, he was almost a pauper. But that did not in any way dim his entrepreneurship spirit. He paid off all his dues by working in England for 2 to 3 years, came back to India, and started what was then the first textile mill in Nagpur. And I think the rest, as they say, is history. So that's the classic case of an entrepreneur in India. And of course, then we had J.R.D. Tata, who was India's first airline pilot. He looked upon entrepreneurship from the heart, something from the heart. Entrepreneurship is something which is you're not born an entrepreneur. You can be trained to be an entrepreneur, but you must have a conducive climate, a conducive environment in which to thrive. The Indian entrepreneur has bloomed and blossomed, and so many of them are here in front of me. So, congratulations to all of you. But I would like to say that, look, as far as the Tata House is concerned, yes, we are recognizing 5, maybe 30, but there are hundreds, maybe thousands of entrepreneurs who are not here today. And we owe a gratitude to all of them also. We owe a recognition to all of them also, because collectively they've built India to what it has become today. But you are symbols of the entire community which has made India what it is today. Congratulations to all of you.
जब बात लाइफ इंश्योरेंस हो तो फिर देर क्यों? भारतीय ऐसा लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लाया है स्पॉट सुरक्षा, इंश्योरेंस ऑन द स्पॉट.
2 days to go for the most awaited car in the world.
% of girls between 15 and 19 years in India are already mothers.
Even if you go to a village and you see a woman with many children, she will complain that she didn't want to have all these children, but she was forced to.
How demoralizing is this for the nation's dream of becoming a global superpower? Why is most of the population still unaware of birth spacing? Watch The Breathing Space at these times, only on CNBC TV 18.
सिर्फ एक्स्ट्रा प्रीमियम पेट्रोल में है फ्रिक्शन बस्टर, जो दे ज्यादा माइलेज, बेहतर पिकअप और जबरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस. स्विच टू एक्स्ट्रा प्रीमियम ओनली फ्रॉम इंडियन ऑयल.
Hi, I'm Jyoti. I'll tell you a few things about putting. What I do in putting is I just try and keep the 3 basic principles which work for me in putting. First thing is that I try and keep my eyes over the ball. So if I'm standing on a putt and I'm looking down on the ball, and if I throw a ball from my eye, it should land on the ball. The second thing, what I do is I like to keep my hands a little close to my body. I don't like it hanging too much outside. And the third thing that an important thing what I do is I don't break my wrist. So if my hands are close to my chest, I pretty much form a V, and this is a pendulum that goes back and forth. So in simple words, eyes over the ball, hands close, don't break the wrist, and it's a pendulum stroke.
मेरा बैटे मैं नहीं खेलता.
Now win a chance to meet Zahir and Gautam right in your home. Just buy digital TV, send an SMS, and also win loads of prizes.
चीटिंग करता है यार. I know.
To give away the award for our very first winner, I would request Dr. Irani to open the envelope and let us know who our first winner is.
The first winner is Active Cubes Solutions.
2006, when Rajesh Warrior called his friend Kiran Ventrapragada in Germany and suggested that they start something together, he never expected a response to be so quick.
We've always been debating, discussing right timing, what to do. It's during this period that we started coming across a lot of opportunities around analytics. One of the things we realized was that most of the IT folks really don't understand the application of analytics because it's a different ball game altogether. And most of the analytics folks don't understand the IT space either. A company like ActiveCubes would actually help you understand your customers' needs and buying behavior, and help you narrow down into your target segment where you should actually be selling your products.
Big milestones would be for us actually having Fortune 500 clients in our kitty.
Today, the team at ActiveCubes is determined to take their dreams to the limit.
A few years from now, we want to hit $100 million business. That's what we plan to do.
Presenting Tata NEN Hottest Startup, ActiveCubes Solutions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for ActiveCubes Solutions. And our second winner this evening is...
The second winner is Lakshya.
2005, 4 young men, fresh out of IIT, decided to chuck up their well-paying jobs because they wanted to do something on their own.
We always wanted to do something which can bring about a very important change in our society. So then we thought, let's start teaching. We picked up a very standard industry of IIT JEE coaching. In Patiala, we saw a huge opportunity. When we saw this opportunity, it's an education hub and there are no facilities of education really at +1 and +2 level. We struck gold.
The real success came soon after, when they started their very first crash course.
The first day itself, we had a query of close to around 80 students. For huge demand, we had to open another batch for that. Again, it was filled in 2 days' time. We managed finally a base of around 125 students.
That first batch, we collected some 7-8 lakhs of rupees in 1 day. And I felt so good. Yes, we have done it.
After that, there was no looking back. But even with all the success, 4 young lads from IIT still have their eyes firmly focused on the future. Presenting Tata NEN Hottest Startup, Lakshya.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Lakshya.
The third winner is Star Agri Warehousing and Collateral Management.
Amit Mundawala, Amit Khandelwal, Amit Agarwal and Suresh Chandra Goyal were business rivals in Rajasthan with only one thing in common. They were all operating in a sector that they knew from birth: agriculture.
We got together in 2006. We wanted to be, contribute in large into society. So then we thought that we have to create one company and we have to make it big entity in agriculture field.
After a lot of research and brainstorming, the 4 new partners realized that there was no company offering comprehensive financial and infrastructural support for the Indian farmer post-harvest. And thus, the business model for Star Agri was born.
बैंक्स को इजीली वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में लैंड कर पा रहे हैं, फार्मर्स को उनके प्रोड्यूस का अच्छा पैसा मिल रहा है, सबको इकट्ठे हम 1 point solution हम दे रहे हैं.
Recently, Star Agri has entered into a tie with NCDX, where we'll be providing warehousing services along with the assaying.
But the story of Star Agri does not end here, because the vision of the company stretches far into the future.
Now we want to create something in pre-harvest management, water management, soil management.
And one of the breakthrough what we are trying to create is the Agri Lab basically. And we are trying to make the largest infrastructure-wise creativity about the agriculture commodity lab testing and assaying part.
Presenting Tata NEN Hottest Startup, Star Agri.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Star Agri. Well, from the third, moving on to our 4th winner.
And the 4th winner is takeovercode.com.
From as early as 1984, Pawan Kumar Vijay was fascinated, almost obsessed, with the idea of merging the two seemingly divergent fields of law and information technology.
What I am doing, converting to the complicated law in a simplified manner. Repetitive work should be reduced, and again I am doing something which can be stopped.
After much trial and error and many false starts, he and his team decided to create a website that would reduce the pain involved in one of the most complicated pieces of Indian legislation, the Takeover Code.
That when you read, you have so many interpretations and you are confused. We structured the entire questionnaire in such a manner, if we have to create any document which is required as per law, you are not missing anything because all lines, everything is there. Tomorrow SEBI is amending something, we are adding. So any lawyer of USA wants to talk to Indian law, so there is no need to talk to any professional. He can go to our site and do this. You can realize, okay, all answers are here because we have given FAQ, we have given everything. So we have reduced pain, increased the revenue.
The site was an instant success and soon grew both in terms of popularity as well as the business it generated. Presenting Tata NEN Hottest Startup, Takeovercode.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and keep it going for Takeovercode.com.
The fifth and final winner is the Loot.
Born to a small business family, Jay Gupta was still only in his first year BCom when he decided that his future lay with retail.
I did the first multi-brand store. I realized that everybody who comes to the store asks for discount. I concluded after that, let's do some discount format stores. And that point of time, I opened the first factory outlet. But there was a different set of problems which started coming with the factory outlet. They started doubting that we sell seconds. You don't exchange, you don't guarantee. And which was right.
Finally, 8 years of gaining experience and knowledge paid off, and Jay Gupta found his win formula.
The Loot was born, and it was a great hit.
We are a discount store that offers discount 365 days. We offer a minimum of 25%, which goes right up to 60%. We don't sell seconds in our stores, we don't sell fixes in our stores.
Today, the success of the Loot is self-evident.
Today we have one of the largest discount store in the country, which is 20,000 square feet.
And it is in the last 1 year that we've really scaled up, and we've touched 91 stores as of date, and we should be 100 by the end of next month.
We have presence in 18 states as on date, and consumers are now convinced about the product, the quality and the genuineness of the product.
Presenting Tata NEN Hottest Startup, the Loot.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the fifth Loot this evening, the Loot.